Hello everyone, this is Anne from the Licking Park District, bringing you our weekly Eagle Watch. We have one of the adults in the scope. We know this is the male because when we arrived, both adults were present. And females are larger than males, so being able to view them side by side, we were able to tell which was which. Notice the white head and tail. Bald eagles reach their adult plumage at around 5 years old. Juveniles will have a dark head and kind of mottled tail and body until they reach that full maturity. We're going to move the scope in a minute over to the nest so we can get an idea of whether we'll be able to see eaglets or not. Now this adult is kind of guarding the nest by being in a perch tree a few hundred yards away. Okay, so we have moved the scope to center on the nest. The female, to set the scene, has moved closer and is perched on a branch just above and to the left. Now, bird watching takes some patience, but if you watch closely, we occasionally are seeing glimpses of an eaglet. The male has left, presumably to go hunting. Now, the interesting thing about eagles is they have clutch sizes on average about 1 to 3 eggs. Eagles will produce one brood a breeding season. The nestlings will stay in the nest for about 10 to 12 weeks, and once they leave the nest, they will continue to stay with their parents 1 to 2 months while they perfect their feeding and flying skills. So keep an eye on that kind of edge of that nest. Oh, there's a head. Looks like maybe some begging behavior. Now, one of the things about eaglets and eagles and laying eggs that's interesting is that eagles lay eggs asynchronously. I love that word. Eagle eggs are large and it takes a lot of energy to produce one. So the eggs are laid on different days, but incubation starts with the first egg. So eaglets in the same nest have slightly different ages. Now what we're seeing is one fairly large, few-week-old eaglet that's moving around, giving us a show, kind of trying to balance there and looking around. But that doesn't mean there's not another eaglet in there. There could be one that's slightly younger, slightly smaller. Sorry, we're centering the scope a bit, so bear with us here. So there is a chance there is another eaglet in there. We'll know for certain as they get older. Probably by next week, if we see activity and we still only see kind of one, we could start to think that there's only one eaglet. Now, again, the female is still perched up above the nest, keeping watch. So adults guard the nest to protect from predators, which are mainly other eagles. Though great horned owls have been known to take eaglets and some other nest predators, but primarily it's other eagles. Males and female eagles will perform similar jobs when it comes to chick rearing. In the early days, the male does most of the hunting, and the female will be doing most of the incubating at night, and most of the feeding of chicks. But then it'll become kind of equal roles as time goes on. So just take a little time to watch this little guy. Looks like he may be pecking at something in the nest, maybe some food that was brought earlier today. Okay, now we've zoomed in even closer. So we'll see if we get the eaglet in a little bit more. Bear with us, we're still learning our video techniques. All right, so the female eagle has moved in because there is actually another eagle that has come into the territory. And what she's doing is kind of warning it off right now. You can see that open mouth. Now the eaglet thinks he's about to get fed. But this is behavior saying, hey, stay out of our territory. And it looks like she's going to take off to potentially intercept this other eagle. And we will see. There she goes. All right. Thank you guys for watching today. We will be back next week. Take care and stay well.